Russia just launched hypersonic missiles against Israel, marking a significant and dangerous escalation in the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. The missiles, fired in response to Israel's latest attacks on Rafah, have caused widespread shock and concern among international observers, with potential repercussions for global security dynamics. The deployment of these advanced weapons signals a new phase in warfare, with hypersonic technology bringing a level of speed and precision that traditional missile defense systems struggle to counter. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more exclusive news. The recent exchange began with Israel's intensified military operations in Rafah, a city in the southern Gaza Strip, known for its strategic importance and complex geopolitical significance. Israel's actions, aimed at neutralizing perceived threats from militant groups operating in the area, involved a series of airstrikes and ground maneuvers. These operations, however, have drawn condemnation from various international bodies and have exacerbated tensions in an already volatile region. In retaliation, Russia's launch of hypersonic missiles against Israeli targets represents a dramatic shift in its military strategy and a clear message of its support for Palestinian interests. The hypersonic missiles, capable of traveling at speeds exceeding Mach 5, pose a significant challenge to any nation's defense capabilities. Their use by Russia underscores the Kremlin's willingness to employ its most advanced technology in geopolitical conflicts, raising the stakes for all involved parties. The immediate aftermath of the missile launch saw widespread panic and confusion in Israel, with emergency services scrambling to respond to the new threat. The hypersonic missiles' unparalleled speed and maneuverability made them particularly difficult to track and intercept, leading to significant damage and casualties. The Israeli government quickly convened an emergency session to address the crisis, seeking support from its allies and assessing the potential need for retaliatory measures. International reactions to the incident have been swift and varied. The United States, a long-standing ally of Israel, condemned Russia's actions and pledged to provide additional military and logistical support to help Israel counter the new threat. European nations, while also condemning the missile launch, called for immediate diplomatic efforts to de-escalate the situation and prevent further violence. The United Nations Security Council held an emergency meeting, with member states expressing deep concern over the escalation and urging both sides to exercise restraint. Military experts have been quick to analyze the implications of Russia's use of hypersonic missiles in this context. Hypersonic weapons represent a significant advancement in military technology, combining high speeds with the ability to alter trajectories mid-flight, making them nearly impossible to intercept with existing missile defense systems. The deployment of such weapons by a major power like Russia not only changes the tactical landscape, but also has broader strategic implications for global security. In the context of the Middle East, Russia's actions are seen as a bold assertion of its influence and a direct challenge to Western dominance in the region. The use of hypersonic missiles in particular highlights the increasing sophistication of modern warfare and the need for nations to adapt their defense strategies accordingly. Israel, despite its advanced military capabilities, now faces the daunting task of countering a weapon system that significantly outmatches its current defense technologies. On the ground in Rafah, the situation remains dire. The recent Israeli attacks have left significant destruction in their wake, exacerbating the humanitarian crisis in the region. Hospitals and aid organizations are struggling to cope with the influx of casualties, while civilians continue to bear the brunt of the conflict. The use of hypersonic missiles by Russia has only added to the chaos, with fears that further escalations could lead to an even greater loss of life and infrastructure. The geopolitical ramifications of this incident extend far beyond the immediate conflict zone. Russia's willingness to deploy such advanced weaponry against a nation like Israel signals a new era in international relations, where traditional norms and deterrence may no longer apply. This development is likely to prompt a re-evaluation of military strategies and alliances, particularly among nations that view Russia's actions as a direct threat to global stability. For Israel, the immediate priority is to bolster its defense capabilities and seek assurances of support from its allies. The government is likely to increase investments in research and development of new technologies capable of countering hypersonic threats. In the short term, Israel may also consider diplomatic channels to de-escalate the situation, although the deeply entrenched positions on both sides make a peaceful resolution challenging. In Russia, the launch of hypersonic missiles is likely to be framed as a demonstration of strength and technological prowess. The Kremlin's decision to intervene in the Middle East conflict in such a decisive manner will be used to bolster its image both domestically and internationally. However, this move also risks drawing Russia deeper into the complex and protracted conflicts of the region, with potential repercussions for its own security and economic stability. Other nations in the region are also closely watching the developments, weighing their own responses to the unfolding crisis. Countries like Iran and Turkey, which have vested interests in the Middle East, may see this as an opportunity to advance their own agendas, further complicating the already intricate web of alliances and hostilities. Meanwhile, Gulf states, traditionally wary of both Iranian and Russian influence, may seek to strengthen their ties with Western powers in response to the new threat landscape. The incident has also sparked a renewed debate about the future of arms control and non-proliferation efforts. The deployment of hypersonic missiles by a major power like Russia highlights the urgent need for international agreements to regulate the development and use of such advanced weapons. Without such agreements, there is a risk of an arms race that could destabilize global security and lead to an increase in conflicts fueled by advanced military technologies. In the international diplomatic arena, there will be increased pressure on major powers to mediate and find a resolution to the escalating conflict. The United Nations, despite its often limited effectiveness in such crises, will be called upon to facilitate dialogue and negotiation between the parties involved. The broader international community will need to address not only the immediate violence but also the underlying issues that have led to such a severe escalation. As the world grapples with the immediate shock of Russia's hypersonic missile launch against Israel, the focus has shifted to the broader implications for international security and stability. The swift and precise nature of these attacks has exposed vulnerabilities in even the most advanced defense systems, prompting urgent discussions among military strategists and policymakers worldwide. In the corridors of power in Washington, D.C. and European capitals, there is a palpable sense of urgency. NATO, already concerned with the rising assertiveness of Russia, now faces the daunting task of reassessing its defense posture and capabilities. The alliance's existing missile defense systems, primarily designed to counter ballistic missile threats, are now deemed insufficient against the new hypersonic menace. This realization is likely to accelerate the development and deployment of next-generation defense technologies, including advanced radar systems and directed energy weapons. China, observing the situation closely, sees both risks and opportunities. As a leading developer of hypersonic technology, China recognizes the potential for a new arms race, but also the strategic advantages these weapons confer. Beijing's response will likely be twofold: ramping up its own hypersonic capabilities while advocating for international norms to govern their use. This dual approach aims to secure China's strategic interests while positioning it as a responsible global power. Meanwhile, in Israel, the government faces immense pressure to protect its citizens and respond effectively to this unprecedented threat. The Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, are likely to accelerate their own hypersonic missile development programs, leveraging their advanced technological infrastructure and international partnerships. Additionally, Israel may seek to enhance its Iron Dome and David Sling defense systems, incorporating new technologies to detect and intercept hypersonic threats. In Gaza, the humanitarian crisis continues to worsen. The recent escalations have devastated infrastructure and displaced thousands of people. Aid organizations are calling for immediate ceasefires to allow for the delivery of essential supplies and medical aid. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what's your reaction to Russia's hypersonic missiles against Israel? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.